Right, hello again. This will be part 2 of the videos. This will be the tear down of the pump, the fuel injection pump. So I've given it initial clean up with Fairy Power Spray, not WD-40, montage brake cleaner, and there was tons of dirt came off it. In fact, it looks relatively clean when I took it off the car, but actually it's absolutely caked with dirt. Still, I'm going to have to still probably give it one more round. Well, I don't know, it's a lot of dirt still on there. Fortunately, it's not this side, I believe it's the other side. Someone's already marked off with probably a Dremel, I think, or just made a gouge anyway, which makes my life a lot easier. So I'll align it back up with that. I don't know whether to make my own little alignment as well, just in case, because they don't actually, well, I suppose they do, but not perfectly. They don't perfectly line up, so I don't know whether to trust them or the car runs fine, so maybe I might make my own grooves, I'm not sure, but yeah, there's still a fair bit of gunk and grime on these. I've still got the cap on there, so hopefully no debris getting in. The same with here. That rubber bung, I've tried always to push that in, but it does that little bit, doesn't want to go. I'm terrified. There's still a bit of fluid there. Hopefully it's creating a better, good seal enough so it's not getting into the diesel. I'll take the diesel out anyway. But yeah, that's where we are at the moment. It's metal, but I think there's paper gaskets on either side of it, I think. I don't know whether to replace them or not. See the paper peeling off these. I don't know if the paper's adhered to the metal plates, the gaskets, or whether, I'm not sure. I'll find out when I take it off and see if I have to replace them or not. But anyway, that's where we're up to with this. I'll give an update soon. I've got me washers and whatnot. I've replaced that. So I replaced the top gasket between here, the two main faces. So this one will be the largest one there. It'll be the middle one that you've got to get right. So and then there's copper washers here. So excellent. I'll replace them. Hopefully I know all the sizes, the way they need to go. Tool kits and things like that. Bought these for the rear, where you time the pump, that timing nut at the back there, but the larger one, the triangular socket. These are too small, so they're not quite the right size, so I bought another set. Maybe one day in some mad universe they'll come in for something. Brushes, and oh yes, here's the triangular socket. Is it that way? Or is it that way? So it's a smaller one. I think I need. There's a special triangular locking nut there to stop you tampering with it, I suppose. So that's where we're up to. I've got a torque wrench. I can't remember the torque specs for these bolts, but I'll look that up when I'm putting it back together. But there we are for the moment anyway. Ciao for now. Right, back again. So far I've loosened all the main bolts. Haven't loosened these nozzles yet. I've loosened the bolts around that hole, securing it all together. Actually I loosened them last, because you'll find a big puddle of diesel coming out the bottom. Excuse me. So I'll take this top off first and drain. I've got a plastic tub somewhere. I'll drain the diesel from this into that. But there's your, forget what you call it, but that obviously electromagnet, I think pushes it away and controls a little lever on the bottom. Terminology is not at the moment. I'll look it up again what exactly you call it. The moment I've just been scraping, and this is the one I had the new seal on, I replaced. That didn't fix the problem, but I've got the seal there, so I'll keep that fresh and clean. I'll just put that one back in, part of the gasket kit. So the moment I've just been scraping off some of the crud around, just to get a nice mating faces together. So the next step is, oh yes, I marked off as well. So this side and the other side. Quite a lot of diesel in that hole now. I did it again because I can't remember if I showed this in the last video. They don't actually, well, that one looks close enough. If you look closer, they don't actually line up. It's slightly off. So I didn't trust that, so I've gone ahead with my Dremel and had some paint for belt and braces and made some more marks there. And I made some on this. I doubt I need to make any marks here, but I've made a couple either side there, and obviously the other side as well. just in case there's any lateral movement that might affect it. I don't think that'll affect it, but yeah, that's where we're up to at the moment. So there we go. I'll get back to you in a tick. It's all looking good, so well, apart from the seals. There we go. Right, until the next part. Right, second part. So you can see in there, just poured a load of diesel out from the tub there, so you can just see the springs and whatnot there, and there's the little there you go. So that's where that little round nodule goes into there for the timing, advance and retards it, depending on the amount of fuel or the pressure. I can't remember. Again, I haven't had a look before I filmed this bit, but I will do for the next bit, because I just keep forgetting. But so there we are now. Just cleaned this bit up. Don't do what I've done, just put a little score in there, be gentle, which I wasn't being. But you just want to make sure those faces are clean. There's the old gasket still in there. I'll put that pulled out now. So that's step 2, well no, part 2 of part 2. Right, there's a further strip down. So at your injection timing solenoid there, timing device solenoid, I think that's what they call it. At your stop solenoid there, so I think that cuts off fuel to the pump entirely. Then you've got your timing device plunger, I think is that what it's called. Under those cupboards there, I think it slides back and forth, interacts with the, what's that, your controls spool as well. I think that's the spool there. You just see the little ridge where it goes into there, and that's your potentiometer, that's what it's called. And then you've got electromagnet in there, or you've got your fuel temperature sensor at the back as well, the black box behind it. So that's where we are. Little washer there, I'll keep that safe, kept it the right way around. I've been taking photos. There's a seal there that'll have to be taken off. I think that's that green seal in the pack there. It's all looking, I've been cleaning it up as I go. So I don't think there's any rubber washers on there, but I believe there's rubber washers on the stop solenoid, and there'll be some on this control solenoid as well. So I'll get them out and replace them. There's a little threaded bit there. I'm not sure if that's just like a bleed nut or something on the opposite side there. I'll have a look. So there'll probably no doubt be a rubber washer on that as well. So I'll double check that while we're on. But there we go. That's it from the side there. Not sure if I want to dismantle any further than this, as long as I can gain access to the seals that I need to replace. I don't think I'd need to deep dive any deeper than this. I'll get that one fitted up and put back together. Make sure I time that little bar there fits into the, you get the gist. But hopefully that's where we are. So that gasket as well, where's that one? Yeah, it's flat as a pancake and nice and crispy. So it's really brittle. So, well, definitely needs a replacement. So that'll be most likely where the fuel leak was coming from. But there we go for now. Sorry for the wobbly camera. Right, I'll get back to you in a bit when I've replaced a few more bits. Right, I've put it back together again. Well, just this end piece here. Pretty certain I've put it all back the way it should go. Got that up at the top there, so meets back in that. There's a little washer sits somewhere at the front of there. That's in place, and is it the spool? In front of the spool, those springs all locate. There's pegs and washers that locate in the top of here. Should all be, yes, they're all in place, even though it's hard to see. Where was that? What else have I done? Oh yes, I've just had it on the vise and taken the stop solenoid out. So I think there's a couple of washers in here. I'll need to pull that out. Haven't done these yet. And while it was out, it's got out. It looks all right there. It's ever so slightly out with the timing mark I've put on, which is annoying. I did try loosen these bolts off again, and I did just tiny amounts, nudge that back to where it was, but when I tightened it up again, it's gone back to its original position again, so that's annoying. It's not much, but well, not much when you're dealing with a pump is massive amounts, ironically. So I'll see if I can just nudge it when I'm putting it back in and time that up again. It's all going to have to be timed anyway, so. But there we go, that's where we are for now. Thought I'd just quickly mention as well, there's a tiny little spring in there, sits in there. It does, I believe, slot into there. Actually the washer is on there already, but there's a little collar that sits on there. There's a little tiny hole there, you can see in there. You can't see very well, there's a little hole towards the front, so I imagine when you tighten that up it probably moves it out of place anyway, I'm not sure, but I'll keep that straight there. Here we go. So pretty certain that's where the rubber ring will sit when you tighten it all up, I hope. And the spring inside there, it'll sit in that little tube there, so I'll put that back together now. But I had it out one before, but I forgot to show you, so there you go. Right, so there's your injection timing device solenoid. 2 washers there, one there and one there. A bit of rust there, and there's the inside of that. Yep. So let's change them over now and then bung that back in. I was a little concerned for a second. So there we go, that's I think the sensor there that I showed you before. They're the new O-rings on it, but that one's black, whereas the new one I think is green. So I had us confused for a second and I was thinking, oh bugger. But I think that, I'm pretty certain that's right. They're not identical, but I've checked every other washer in the set and that's the only one it can be. Fits, does fit. So I think that is the correct one. So hopefully that will go back in. Goes that way. I sprayed a bit of WD-40, giving it a little bit of a clean up. I think it goes in that way. Probably need the bolts to push that back in, so I'll do that now. For now. Right, so I've got the injection timing device solenoid. The seals on that changed and put back on. Not torqued up yet, I will do all of them at the end. Then I've got the timing device plunger, well, one side of it, and then the other side. These gaskets are looking rather worn. Obviously starting to peel away there, so it's got like a layer of what must be paper, and then it's a metal gasket in between. So I've ordered some more, so I'll be waiting until those arrive. But I may as well do the job correctly, because I don't want to be taking this off again to fanny around, putting new seals on and whatnot. So I'll pause the video for now. In fact, what other seals I've got? Oh yeah, I'm waiting for the special tool to take that nut off. There's 2 washers in there. And I think there's another bolt round here, but no, there it is. Don't know whether to bother taking that off or not. There's a nut on the other side, it's like an inspection port. I don't know what actually it is, but I think I'll need to I took it off and I forgot I've got all these copper washers here. It's got a copper washer on it. I might as well put the new one on, so I'll take that off again and then put that back on. But so this is where we are for now. Then not that it matters, because you get the video when you get the video, but it'll take some time for me, so spot on. Right, 21 days later, here we are. There's a pump. So I've got this nut off the back. The reason it took so long is I replaced the gaskets on the side there, in the bottom. So they're brand new. But I ordered one, I was sure I ordered 2, and then turns out I had only just ordered 1, so that took a week for another one to arrive. I got a new workbench to actually finally attach the vise to, so that enabled me to actually get this bolt off, which was torqued on to quite a high setting. I don't know what the setting is for that. I've asked around on the forum. I'm going to find out. Someone said I think it was 90 Newton meters of torque, but I'm not sure if that's right. I'd like to confirm that first before I end up stripping the threads, as I've done once before. So I think that's where we're up to. Actually, the rubber washer for that one wasn't actually too bad. It's a brown one. Where have I put it? Oh, there it is. So yeah, there's that one. So I'll just go straight on. I've got to get this one off. There's another copper washer underneath there. I think I've talked about this before. I think the tools that you need is, it's not that one. Where is it? Oh, there it is. It's that triangular socket there. You need to get this nut off at the back. And what's the name of the brand? Ah, there we go. I just used US Pro. You can get them fairly cheap on eBay or whatever. And actually, I bought this. So don't buy this set. Oh, where is it? because it doesn't have the right sizing. I bought that and didn't actually check beforehand, but there we are for now. So I'm over the moon with the fact that the vice fits on this. It took that much force, mind. It was nearly stripping the bloody lats off. So hopefully it'll be different when I tighten it back up. But that's where we are for now. Right, I've just loosened these 8 stems off to the injectors, or lead to the high pressure lines rather. I'm going to change the copper washers in the back here. But I was going to film it later, just to when I remove these, just to make sure I get them back right in the right order, and I don't make any mistakes. I've just realised as well, if you need to tighten that up, do it before you put this head back on, the lower bit. You don't have to adjust the top, just the bottom bit. I had that all nicely timed up as well. I've got it back to where it was, but it was just a funny on because I don't have a spanner that's that size. It is, what size is that? 24mm for that, so I had to use the socket set, but I couldn't get it on over there once you put this back in place, so make sure you tighten that up first. I did tighten that up to, was it 90 Newton meters of torque? I just went for it. I don't know if it's right, so don't use my guides. Double check yourself to see what that is, this bit here. I've taken the bolt out. I believe that's 25 Newton meters of torque, if you can focus. There's the washer, don't mind the screws, that's just come out there. I'll replace that. Let's stop that leaking. So, but these are, they're 14mm, these, by the way, and they tighten up to, I think it's 45 Newton meters for these. I'll double check that again and repost in the next video. Actually I might as well see, where's I put the, that's a 12, so where's the 14? It's the 14. I'll film this taking these out, and it'll probably drop on the floor, but the anticipation. Right, okay, so that's that way. And what have we got inside here? Probably don't have to take that out. So I'll leave that in. You don't have to take it out, which I don't think you do. The copper washers in there, so I'll take that out and replace all them, and then I'll see you in a little while. But I think there's other videos. Some people will show you what else is in there, and they'll show you the order they go on. But if you can take them out without disrupting that, that's just what I'll do. Saves you hassle in case you put them back in the wrong way. But there we go. Oh yes, another thing I was going to mention as well. Because the body of this is aluminium, always put this in the vise with the steel bit here. You don't want to run the risk of damaging this, cracking it, because this is just aluminium. So I'd put that bit in the vise first, for doing any tightening of bolts and whatnot. Save you damaging this casing, because once you damage that, you're buggered, you're fucked. Excuse my language. But there you go. Just taking the second one out. I'll show you anyway. This one did fall to bits anyway. The first one didn't. So that's the order they go in. So put that there. So these two shims first. There's 2 of them there. There's a thicker one and a thinner one. I hope it doesn't matter which way they go around. I'm going to put the thicker one in first, then followed by the thin shim. And then there's that spring. There's this little machine piece of metal here. This one there, that I think the sleeve that holds it in centers it. And then you've got your copper washer at the end there. So that's how they go. That's the order they go in. Just for reference, if you're doing it. Right, despite what I just said earlier about not putting the aluminium in the vise, I have turned the orientation this up horizontal. Vertical rather. Just so I can get sure that the springs locate in these little, both the little shims and the machined little metal in the bottom there. Whatever that does. So I've been around them all and checked that they're all horizontal lined up. All the shims are in place. And they're all, just before I tighten these onto the copper washers. Like I said, don't put it in the vise well, you shouldn't put it in the vise at all, but I've just very, very gently nipped it up, just enough to hold it. Don't yank it down or tighten it, over tighten it or anything like that. Just enough to give it a grip so you can put this vertical. and I've been just done all them. So next I'll check all these bolts once again, check it's all tightened up. Oh, I've got to replace that one as well. I'll pop that back in the vise and check these ones are tight, these two, and then that should be the pump done, I think, apart from these washers here when I come to put it back on. These are the old washers. In fact, they look thicker than the new ones I put in, and I'm not sure if that's because, I don't know. I'm not sure if that's because they've been squished. Oh, I haven't got a new one to show you. So the metal's been forced out the edges to make it look thicker, I don't know. But anyway, the next step is I'll tighten these up and torque them up to 45 Newton meters of torque, I think, each one. So I'll do that next. Hopefully that's so great. I'll double check that first. Again, don't take these torque values for granted. It's just what I've heard from someone who restores these, so I'm going to go with that. But ciao for now. Right, there we go, all done. So they're torqued up to 45. That is 25, I believe. The rest is, they've all just been pinched up by hand. Using a Torx 30 star head. Focus, there we go. So they're all torqued up. Tightened all the other bolts up. That one was 90 Newton meters, the outside bung in the middle, but not the centre bolt, this outside one. 90 Newton meters of torque. I think that's it. I've tightened that up. Everything else is ready. I've put the bracket back on for the mount, the rear mount, and it's just ready to plonk back in now, and then change these washers, but I'll do that when it's on the car. I'll put this cap back on. But there we go, that's probably upload this video now. This is for part 2 of finishing the pump off, which has taken the best part of 3 weeks. And then I'll do a part 3, which will be putting it back in the car. In the meantime, I'll get all this tidied up. But there we go. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in part 3.